Okay. So we set the scene. You are approaching the blue lit city of Darujistan. You're in your cart, which is called.
My cart is called, let's see, Gilicus Breen's Traveling Potion Consortium, Salves from the Far Seas, and Timorous Deep.
Beautiful.
Nice long name.
Your manservant Throlg, who is a hobgoblin, is pulling the cart from the front. Throlg is one of your best customers. He's taken several too many of your potions to the point where his vocabulary has been reduced from what would normally be a standard vocabulary to only the word Throlg. And he's pulling the cart up to the gate of Darujistan, where you're stopped by one of the city guards to make sure that you're not carrying any like explosives or anything into the city. So he halts you and he says, "Stop there, good traveler. I need to inspect your cart to make sure you're not bringing anything dangerous into the city of Darujistan. Do you mind if I inspect?"
Well, nothing dangerous here, just salves and potions. Some of the best in the world, I assume. Throg, you tell him. Tell him that there's nothing wrong with these potions and salves. Throg is one of my most satisfied customers.
Throg at like the front of the cart with like the rail is like, Throg! And the guard...
Yeah, I'm wincing when I hear him do that.
The guard is like, I'm sure. I'm sure that your purse will be heavy by the end of the day once we get you into the city. Now, I've just got to go through a list of things here to make sure that you're not with those nasty tennis scoury folks. Let's see. The first on my...
The who?
The tennis scoury, the cannibal army marching up from south of the continent.
Do I look like a cannibal too?
Well, you never know. They're cannibals.
I know fish is delicious, but I've only heard that.
The guard kind of just like, yes, fish is delicious. Yes. And Throg at the front of the car goes, Throg! So the guard kind of holds up like a pad, and he's going through it, and he looks at you and he says, "Have you ever consumed human flesh? Or the flesh of any other sentient being?"
Human flesh?
Or any other sentient being's flesh.
Surely I've never eaten any human flesh. I wish. But we know that humans are very rare these days. Wouldn't it be nice? Isn't that right, Throg?
Throg! Throg is like tossing his arms up. Okay, that checks out. And he kind of like... do you worship the Panyan Seer?
I worship pan-seared steak. But I certainly don't worship any seers of sorts.
Very good. And lastly, have you ever partaken of the dead seed?
What is the dead seed?
This is a most uncouth gesture that the Tenniscalry use to keep their numbers up. You see, after the Tenniscalry invade a city, the females in the group will take seed from the dead males to bolster the army. So, have you ever partaken in this seed?
I'll have you know that my wares are strictly botanical. Nothing of necromancy or any of that sort. Only salves, no valves. This is how we go at the what was my name? Gilicus Breen's traveling whatever. Just Let me into the city, please.
And the guard goes, yes, very good, yes. Well, I don't expect any tennis gallery business anyway with Moonspawn hovering above. And he kind of points up into the sky. And above the city, there's like a small black keep, like with a little bit of earth and like stonework and stuff actually hovering above the city. And he kind of like looks back to you and he says, just, doing my job, have to make sure. And he just like kind of checks off all these other boxes, like, now, good sir, welcome to Jarujistan. And he kind of like steps aside and lets you in. And he says to you, you'll most likely want to head right to the market. You see, midday, the coin is heavy, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, old chap or young lads. What does this guy look like?
So he's actually a goblin. He's like a gatekeeper goblin guy. And he's dressed in like this like poofy red and blue like cloth. It provides probably no protection whatsoever. And he's got this pole arm that's like way too big for him. He's kind of like struggling to hold it up, and most of the time you notice it's actually just propped up against the wall. It's probably just for show.
Okay, so I'll thank him. I thank him kindly, and I say, and young man, what's your name?
My name is
Can't you remember your name?
My name is.
You have a name, don't you?
My name is Bexcar. Sorry. Last night, me and the boys, we had a few too many at the pub.
Too many at the pub. Well, I've got just the thing for that. Too many at the pub.
Show me.
Let's see. Throg. Reach in. Throg, reach into that the back there, and I want you to get the silver potion with green flecks. It has a blue cap.
Throg. And Throg kind of goes around to the back of the cart, and you hear like this like kind of shuffling around. Throg comes back around with the potion and hands it to you and says, Throg.
Okay. So this potion here is my magical potion of revival, and it's perfect for hangovers or having too many with the boys. And what it is it is colored coffee with a little bit of sugar and water and a teardrop from a leaky fish eye.
Well.
And I don't tell him that. I'm not going to tell him that.
Right. That's what the actual ingredients are.
Here you go, young boy. Here's a magical potion that I brewed up recently.
Okay.
It's 50% gold dust, 70% the dust of a fallen fruit tree, perhaps. And this will give you energy, alertness, and it will pick you up.
Wow.
On the house.
Such an exquisite brew. Truly, you are a potions master.
That's right.
And
sure.
He pops the top off and drinks the whole thing. And let's find out what happens to him.
How do you feel?
No. So he pops the top of the potion, chugs it down, and he kind of stands there for a second like, I feel very strange. And then emanating from him come green and black waves that kind of wash up against your cart and then like fall down into the ground, killing the grass on the ground. All the grass around him within like a 3-foot radius, it's like brown and crunchy now. Like it's all dead.
Those are the toxins leaving your body. That means it's working.
He's kind of still standing there like, I do feel a little different. And then he's like, "Please, sir, go see the markets."
Okay, and let's see. Can I ascertain if he's satisfied or not with
Yeah.
his coffee?
Yeah. Do you want to ask him if that was a good potion?
I think I'll just do it with perception. I'll just see what's going on in my head.
All right.
I wonder if he's
Roll
so
me.
it's
Roll me an insight check.
insight check.
Uh-huh.
Okay. 9.
Okay, so you can't tell what how he feels or not.
I can't tell for sure if he feels good or not, but I assume that he's satisfied.
Yeah, you're almost certain that in your head he's very happy with, the free
Gilicus
sample.
Breem satisfies another customer.
Okay. And with that, you kind of pass the gate guard and make your way to the market. The market is like this big open air market. There are other carts, tents. There's a ton of foot traffic, people carrying all sorts of goods. There's chickens, cows, pottery, jewelry, all sorts of finery that, any sophisticated creature could desire. You set your cart up kind of towards the end of the street facing the royal palace, and the first customer to come up to your cart is what appears to be a gnome.
Gnome. Okay, so Thrall knows that I actually speak Gnomish.
Yes.
Most of what I've learned about Gnomish has been from alchemy and wizard textbooks. So my accent is probably not very good. Imagine a Peggy Hill style Gnomish. So what does the gnome look like?
So the gnome he's a stout gnome. He's got a bald pate. And on his back, you see a pack heavy laden with, well, you're not sure yet, but his pack looks to be very heavy. He's got all sorts of like little gold and kind of like other accoutrements about him. And he's well dressed in sort of like a green dapper coat. His boots have clearly been used. There's a little bit of mud and stuff on them.
Okay. Let's see.
If you were to make a guess, you might say that this is a wealthy gnome.
Okay. So I say to him, wobble flipstoon, gribble, me day, good friend. I'm speaking my best gnomish.
Okay. So he like takes off his hood and looks at you and is like, oh, yes, top of the morning to you too, my good sir. Yes, yes, the sun is quite a shoe. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so even though he's speaking common and he's obviously better at common than I am at gnomish, I'll continue to speak gnomish to him.
Okay.
Wobble Hinstats, Lagur Gilicus Breen's Traveling Potion Consortium, salves from the far seas and timorous deep. Homestead. Right, friend?
Yes, I see you. Yes, you sell potions. I do enjoy dogs also.
Yes, we have potions and salves, never any vows, from all sorts of far lands and mystical ingredients and what have you. We can cure any ailment that ails you.
Well, I might have a challenge for you then. You see,
is it your bald head?
I quite like my head actually. And
we can fix your bald head if you'd like. I have a salve for that.
and Throg is just like Throg. And and the gnome kind of cuts Throg off, and he's like, I'm looking for a potion to teleport me. You see, I have stumbled through a gate that I most likely wasn't supposed to stumble through, and I can't seem to make my way back home now.
Oh, a teleportation. Of course, I have a teleportation potion. What alchemist wouldn't? Let's see. Throg, will you pass me the red and silver potion with an orange cap? And I'd like to hold it in my hand.
Okay. Throg, he takes his place from the back of the cart, goes back to the back of the cart, and you hear the like shuffling and like glass kind of clanking and stuff. And Throg comes back around to the front of the cart with the potion, hands it to you, and he goes, Throg.
Thank you, Throg. Let's see. So this is the fastest, most pristine moonlight transportation potion that's ever been made. But it's a little bit expensive, so.
My good sir, this might be a spot of trouble, but you see, I'm quite the explorer. I'm a map maker, you see, and while I don't have much in the way of coin, I do have perhaps some artifacts that might suit your fancy instead.
Let's see.
So he swings his pack to the front, and he's like, "Oh, sir, I'll give you 3 choices. I've got a suicidal skull," and he holds up a skull, and from its like non-existent lips, it kind of goes, "Kill me." I've got. Then he holds up like a jade amulet from a far-off cult. And then the last one that he holds up is a like potion belt kind of thing that like goes across your chest. And he's like, "This is a never-ending potion belt. I imagine that this might be very handy for you."
Never-ending potion belt.
You see, my good friend, Gilicus, if I may, you fill this belt with the liquid of your choice, and it never runs out. It holds only 2, but never ending.
Never-ending potion. Let me think for a sec. I got this potions belt.
The suicidal skull, and then a jade amulet.
Okay, and he wants this
teleportation potion.
This teleportation potion, yeah, which is a real thing that I have.
Yes.
All right, so here we go. Let's see. Unfortunately, these things are nice. The suicidal skull looks great, and can't get enough of that jade amulet. But this teleportation spell is quite expensive. It's made with raw material, with real moonbeam.
Real moonbeam, you say?
Yes, real moonbeams. And so let's see. So I'd have to take probably all 3 of those items, and 600 gold, and that would probably be about half this potion. How does that sound?
Well, I haven't got 600 gold, but the 3 artifacts, and roll me a persuasion to see if you've like adequately fluffed up just how expensive this potion is.
Let's see. Hang on 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Z, can you see your messages?
Yes.
Okay. A persuasion check?
Okay, yep.
Ooh, okay.
What do we do?
10.
10? Okay. So he kind of holds up all three artifacts and he's like, well, I don't know. The suicidal skull is quite valuable. All three, I'm not quite sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah, so,
maybe you could
yeah.
sweeten the deal with one more potion.
Let's see. Okay. Mm-hmm. And when do you need to use this teleportation potion?
Well, ideally I would like to use it today, bearing any
Hey.
constraints. Bearing any constraints by the potion, of course. You are the expert.
Right. Well, actually, this potion is instant, which is why the price is so hefty. But so I'm looking to myself, and I'm pretending to look into my cards.
Okay.
Let's see maybe I have something else. So I'll take out another potion.
Uh-huh.
This potion is, let's see, it's half my own spit, water, dirt, and maybe some silver essence to make it a little shiny.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Let's see. So I take it out and I show it to him.
Okay.
Well, I do have this potion, but remember I said it uses moonbeams to what's the word I'm looking for? Teleport you.
Oh yes, the moonbeams.
This potion is unfinished. It still needs some moonbeams, but an adventurer like yourself, surely you can get some moonbeams.
Yes, of course. I'm in. Yes.
And I think there will be a full moon, well, probably in 5 or 6 days' time from now. So here's what you do. You have to. This is a BYOM. In alchemy, we say it's bring your own moonbeams. What you have to do is take this, and you have to go, say, 40 kilometers south, and go to the highest hill facing the North Star on the last day of the month. What you'll do is you'll hold this potion up to the stars to gather some moonbeams. And by golly, the next day, you'll have yourself a teleportation potion. Can you wait? Can you wait 5 or 6 days?
I've got no other way to get home, so 5 or 6 days seems a small price to pay to me.
Yeah, surely it's shorter than walking, right? It's
truly
faster and easier. So how about this? How about 20 silver and what is it? A potion belt and maybe the jade amulet.
Okay.
The BYOM moonbeam potion.
Okay, so roll for me either persuasion or deception, or even performance if you want. You can pick. I think persuasion is your best at +4.
Yeah, I'll go persuasion. I'm persuading this guy.
Yeah. Persuade him out.
14.
14? Okay. So he kind of looks at you, and you can see the wheels in his head are kind of turning, and he's like, and he says,
and how about, and I'll throw, I crack immediately. I'll sweeten the pot.
Okay.
If you're not satisfied, and if you can't get the moonbeams into this potion by next week, you come back to me at this very spot, and I'll give you a full refund.
Well,
how does that sound? And I hold my hand out.
That's most generous. Hard to resist that one. So he swings his pack around, and he takes out the jade amulet, the potions pouch. He does have a lot of coin on him. You see now, there's like a big coin purse kind of stashed in that bag, but he gives you. And Throg, seeing that, goes, Throg. He gives you the 60 silver, and then holding the
60 silver.
60.
Nice.
And then holding the suicidal skull, he says, I don't think you've been such a good sport. And the potion is truly I've never encountered another potion seller who could even produce a teleportation potion. This is
it's actually quite simple, you see.
This is truly a rare find. So please take the suicidal skull.
Oh, well, if you insist. Throg, please grab the skull, and then I'll take the amulet and the potions belt for myself.
Okay.
Throg, pick up the skull.
Throg, and he grabs the skull, and the skull says, "And me." And then Throg just kind of goes around to the other side of the cart, and you just hear him. He actually just tosses the skull into the back of the car. The gnome looks quite satisfied, and he says, "Thank you, good potion seller. If I have any trouble, I'll be sure to come back. Thank you again."
Yeah. So please come back. Remember, 7 days, and if anyone asks, tell them Gilicus Breem sent you.
Gilicus Breem, I won't forget.
Gilicus Breem's traveling potions or whatever. Goodbye.
Throg! And he takes off, and by now, like, a small crowd has formed around your cart, just from the kind of like observing your potions, what you're bringing out, stuff like that. And stepping forth from the crowd is another small figure. You can't make out this figure's race, and they're wearing kind of like a dense cloak, kind of concealing all their features. They come up to your cart, and in like a kind of cracked, almost whispery voice, say to you, "Please, sir, I suffer from the wasting disease. You see, my flesh rots on my bones. Please, do you have any potions? I've gold."
Let's see. Can I make some kind of perception check? I need to check this guy's race in my book.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Insight. I see something about like where he's from.
Insight or investigation. You could do investigation. That gets you a +3.
Let's try an investigation check, and I'd like to see like if there's any discernible features about how tall is he. I guess I can know right off the bat.
So he is taller than the gnome. Gnomes, I think, stand about like 4 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet. So he's definitely taller than the gnome. He's probably somewhere between like 5 and 6 feet. So he's almost the same height as you, I think.
I'm let's see. I'm 4'10", but I tell people I'm 5 feet.
Okay, yeah, he's slightly taller than you think. He's maybe like 5'3", 5'4".
Okay, so I'm looking at this cloaked figure up and down, and I open up my book of rubes.
Okay.
My book of rubes. And this is my catalog of all of the peoples and races and creatures, and their scamability rating.
Yes, of course.
So I'm flipping through it, and I'm looking for height. Yeah, let's see. My height, 5 feet. Very tall. Taller races. So I'm flipping through the pages of my book of rubes. Let's see here. Let's see. Dwarves here. Let's see. Dwarves are brash and violent and haughty, and difficult to scam, but they do have lots of money. There's a high risk, high reward.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look more and see halflings. Halflings never have any money.
Throg is looking over your shoulder, kind of going like, Throg.
Halflings don't have any money. Halflings don't like gold very much. Kenku's. Now we're in the bird race section. Jeez. Filthy things. Filthy birds. Pretty much worthless, the birds. There's no money. nothing of value. So let's see. So I'm eyeballing this guy.
Uh-huh.
And I'll make an investigation check.
Okay.
Okay, and I get a 15.
Okay.
So I'm holding up my book and I'm looking at to see what this guy is.
Yeah. Okay. So you're kind of holding up the book, like flipping through as if you're sort of looking through like a catalog of potions you've got in your cart, and you're like, yes, flesh eating. Yes. Let me see what I have here. Like peering over, and as you peer over, you look down from over your cart, and you notice that he's got scales on his feet.
Scales on his feet. Scales. Okay, scales. Let's see. Yeah, so perhaps he's could be one of those disgusting frogmen, filthy lizard men. Lizard. Okay, let's see. Here, I have just the thing for you. I have a salve that's... If you rub it on your skin, it'll cure any wounds, parasitic disease, flesh-eating bacteria. How many vials would you like?
Well, my condition, you see, it's very advanced. I believe I'll need all of them.
Yes, it looks very severe. All of them?
I think I'll need every potion you have to cure this ailment.
Sweating. Every potion I have. Let's see.
I'm good for the coin, dear sir. Please, my health is worth any price.
Yes, of course. Yes, looks quite serious. So we'll get the strong stuff. You keep it in the back.
Throg.
So let's see. I'll procure. Let's see. 5 vials.
Okay.
Color of the vials. The vials are a brownish gold.
Okay.
Brownish gold with flecks of green.
Oh, okay. That does not sound good.
This is Breen's green. Surely, if you rub this on your skin, you'll see the effects in and then I'm like looking at my calendar. In 5 days.
5 days, sir. My condition is. I don't believe I stressed this, but I don't have 5 days, sir. Might you have anything faster? My purse is heavy, sir.
Anything faster, you see. Let's see. Can I try to actually heal him with the spell?
Yeah, you definitely can.
Let's see. Then I'll have to throw in this an incantation of sorts, which will aid in your recovery.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So bring me the part of you that ails you most.
Okay.
Which part is the most infected?
So after you say that, he drops his robe, and standing before you is like a small red kobold who looks a little familiar to you. But he's covered in these like large green like pustules that are like sort of pulsing with his breath. And he says to you, sir, it's my entire body.
I'm wincing. So I'm saying, oh, yes, looks like in about, this is maybe a 7-day cure. Let's see. I'll see what I can do now. And I'm flipping through my wizard book, my spell book.
Okay.
So I'm going to cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
So this is just a 1d8 plus 2 spell.
Okay. And how do you how do you want to do this?
So this is a touch spell.
Okay. Do you want to touch him?
Yeah. Do I want to? Yeah. Okay. So I'm having second thoughts. So I'm thinking about my touch spell to cure him, and as I look closer at the wounds and pustules, I kind of reel back and go, actually, you better not touch these pustules because this is a disease from the inside of your body, which means we'll have to cure it from the inside out.
Oh, I see.
So let's see. So I'm gonna cast. Let's see. Can I produce a good berry, which is my good egg?
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead and produce one of those.
So this will take. This is casting time is 1 action.
Okay, so you just kind of roll me a performance check. Like, so you're gonna, do some kind of like magic for the crowd and produce one of these eggs.
Okay, so I'm gonna produce one of these fish eggs.
Yep.
So I'm gonna coax the crowd. Come along, look! I'll produce one of my famous Breem's fish eggs.
Throg!
Throg can relax. Relax.
Throg.
Okay, my performance check. That roll is 10.
Okay. So you're standing on top of your cart now, and kind of pulling people over to your cart. You kind of spin around, and like this green magic sort of comes out of your hand, and then like from within your stomach, you feel this like sudden pressure. Open your mouth, and from out of your mouth shoots like a big fish egg that lands in your hand. And
how many eggs do I produce? I can get up to 10. How many am I puking here?
Let's roll a die for how many eggs you puke up. So, oh wow, okay. So, the first one comes as a surprise. The next 4, you feel them coming on, and you catch 2 of them. The third one you kind of balance, and then the fourth one falls off. Like you don't grab it, and the 5th one that happens again, and it kind of veers off into the crowd. And the 2 that hit the ground get snatched quickly, and you see people like running away. But you've got 3 of them in your arms at least.
Okay, so I've got my 3 good eggs.
Yeah, from your stomach.
So these eggs are probably the size of human fist.
Okay.
Maybe small, or maybe the size of my fist.
Okay.
So size of Gilicus's fist. So I'll hand him. See, I'll give him 2 eggs.
Okay.
And as we can imagine, these eggs are like the orangish eggs.
Yep. So they're like bright orange. Yeah. And they're
covered in like a brownish green slime from
nice.
The inside of me.
So you hand him the 2 eggs. He looks at one in one hand and takes a bite out of it. And he's like chewing it, slime and all, and is like, "Why, this is delicious. It's positively splendid."
I know.
But you roll for me a medicine check.
Ooh. 1 + 4.
5. Okay. Well, luckily, you notice that there is no discernible difference with this creature's health. He seems to be kind of like the same sick that he was before. And follow that up for me with an insight check.
6.
6. Okay, roll me one more. You've got advantage on this one.
Let's see. 16.
Okay. Something, not your eggs, but something smells fishy here.
Man, what?
So
Smells fishy.
yeah.
So I got this rotting cobalt in front of me.
So the kobold, after kind of chewing on the first egg, says, I think this will do nicely. And how many potions did you say?
There's 4 potions.
Yes, this'll work quite well. And he kind of like puts the 2 eggs in his arm, reaches behind his back. He's wearing only a like a loincloth. Reaches behind his back and produces like a large sack that kind of jiggles and jangles with the sound of like coins. And he says, I think this will do nicely. And he hands it up to you. When you open the sack, it's filled with shining, gleaming gold coins.
Yeah, let me see what I can do here. I'm going to roll a performance check to see if I keep my cool.
Okay.
When I roll a constitute, how would I vary?
Okay.
Like,
so you are overcome, right?
I think this is like doing like immense psychic damage to me.
Okay. So okay, roll for me. Let's go. This would most likely be a Constitution saving throw. You need to keep your cool and not freak out about the amount of money you are witnessing right now.
Let's see, 13.
13. Okay, so the like little water skin you kind of keep around you is like little drops and things are flying off of you, but your composure is you're smiling and nodding and like, oh yes, this will do nicely, but the water is kind of like, it's almost like
so
popcorn.
I'm like leaking, kind of.
Yeah,
I'm leaking. My mouth is getting really dry.
yeah. You are like basically the fish equivalent of like sweating right now.
Yeah. So I'm dabbing myself with a wet cloth to keep myself wet. Yeah. I'm drying out under the pressure.
Yeah. The kobold in front of you, taking the 4 potions, he looks at the first one, holds it up to the sun, and then looks to you and he says, just as I thought, Gilicus Breem. And he takes the first potion and he smashes it on the ground. And the potion hits the ground and explodes, and the people that it splashes on begin to levitate up into the air. He takes the next potion, smashes that one on the ground, and a spectral shield surrounds him. And then the last 2 he smashes, and
yeah, I'm freaking out because I thought Thrall was supposed to give me the bunk potions that don't work. So I'm really stressed out. Right now.
So
now he's smashing my goods. He's smashing the good ones.
So one of the potions he smashes at the foot of a bunch of people in the crowd, and they all turn into potted plants. And then the last one, he increases in size by 2-fold.
Did he get enlarged? Did he get the enlarged spell?
He got the enlargement potion, yes. So he's now about 10 feet tall. And
okay.
he
See what a kobold looks like.
he looks at you and he
Kobold.
says, Gilicus Breem, I should have known you would be so foolish. The classic sick kobold trick with the bag of coins. Tell me, my friend, how many times will you fall for my clever schemes? And in a like poof of pink smoke, you see standing before you the kobold. He's perfectly healthy. And he's wearing like these flowing blue robes with like this embroidered blue hat that's got like a big gemstone at the top and like a bright yellow feather sticking out of it. And he says, "Behold!"
Do I know this? Do I know this?
You know this guy immediately. And and he says, "Behold, good people of Darujistan, I am Lord Drakenhoof, knight clad. I am a true potion salesman. This
Lord
man
Drakenhoof.
here," and he points his finger like he's basically like in your nose with his finger, and he says, "This man here is a fraud. Look, the potions, their effects are random. This man knows not what he does." And then like the crowd around your tent or around your cart is kind of like, oh no, like, and he points
Okay,
over.
I'm trying to calm everyone down. Relax. They're not random. They're not random at all.
Roll me a roll me a persuasion check to see if you calm the crowd down.
Okay, here I'm sweating and trying to dab myself.
Yeah.
Keep myself moist.
Your extremities are there's like no water on your extremities anymore.
I'm like a drying up fish.
Yeah.
And I'm getting really stressed out. So I'm rolling a performance or a persuasion.
You can either one.
I'll do persuasion.
Okay.
Come on. Oof, 22.
Okay. So you kind of like you look down at the crowd that's gathered and you said, "Good people, this man is the fraud," and you point back to him. And he looks at you like aghast, like, "How dare you, sir?" And he pulls a potion from his belt and he says, "Now, if you were truly a potion master, you would have realized that the coins I handed you are merely transmuted wood." So you open the bag.
Of course I knew that.
Okay, roll me another persuasion check to see if anyone believes you.
So what's his name? Drakenhoof?
Yeah, his name is Lord Drakenhoof Nightclad.
Drakenhoof Nightclad. Listen, Drakenhoof, I knew it was you, and I knew that these were wood coins. Let's see. What is the environment we live in? Is it like a murky place?
So Darujistan is pretty dry. Like the streets are made of like sandstone, kind of cobblestone. The buildings, most of them they're yellow. They're pulled from the local like sandstone quarries. And beyond Darujistan, there's like a glimmering blue pond, and then kind of like golden wheat fields leading up to the lake and the city itself. So, but Darujistan, for the most part, it's kind of like a cool, arid place.
It's an arid place. Is there a forest nearby?
No, there's no forest nearby.
Okay, so I tell Drakenhoof, here in Darujistan, wood is as valuable as gold. You fucking idiot.
He kind of looks up at you and stammers and says, "Well, of course I knew that. That's don't you know that gold was transmuted wood, which was transmuted stone."
Okay, he's got me there. This genius is like outclassing me really well.
And then he kind of like, "Good people, if you want real potions and a real potion master," and he kind of like swings his arm to the other side of the street, and on the other side of the street you see a cart nearly identical to yours, and above it says, Lord Drakenhoof Nightclad's emporium of fine and delicious potions for both your health and your joy. Please partake. And pulling the cart, there are several little kobolds and things kind of like scattered around it. And the crowd kind of looks at the cart and they go, oh, okay. And they all start making their way over to his cart. And he looks at you and he says, now, Gilicus, I've won again.
Bastard. Damn. What do I do here?
What would you like to do?
Okay, can I think for a moment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this jerk is
totally stolen your thunder.
He's made me look like a fool in front of everyone, and I'm losing customers.
Yeah. Throlg is out in front of the cart kind of like, Throlg. Throlg is like ready to throw down.
I want to fight this guy? I don't know if that's good for my rep. And I'm actually not very strong either.
Throg's pretty strong.
Okay, let's see. What do I do here? I gotta think quick. First off,
nearly all the customers have left your cart.
And he's still there, like, kind of flexing on me.
He is laughing at you. He's looking directly at you, and he's like, ah, ha, 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 ah, ha, 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 ah, ha, ha, I win again, Lord Drakenhoof Nightclad.
So let's see. If my potions were fake, how could they do this? And I just randomly, I'll pull out one of the potions on my satchel.
Okay.
And then I pop the cork.
Okay.
And I splash it on his face.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. And the potion... Oh, no. Okay, so you splash the potion on his face, and his kind of like reddish mahogany scales and skin turn to green as he shrinks from a 10-foot tall kobold down to only a potted plant. And the good people, you have absolutely dunked on him big time. And the good people of Darujistan kind of like look at him and look at you and go, oh, wow. And they all come rushing back to your cart.
And I say, nobody messes with Gilicus Breem.
Throg!
Yeah, and then I ask Thrall to put that potted plants in my carts.
Okay. You roll me an insight check.
17.
Okay, so you know that the potion is very temporary, and that the people in the crowd who were changed to potted plants before, they've now transformed back into what they were.
Okay.
Yeah, so putting him in the cart would only have him wind up in your cart a few minutes later.
Okay, can I crush this plant?
Yeah, you can.
I like just stomp it?
You can crush it, yeah. Do you want to say something while you crush it?
Let's see. So I pick up the potted plant.
Uh-huh.
And I say, I gotta think of a catchy, witty line. Something that rhymes. I say, this plant simply can't. And then I kind of pick it up over my head, Legend of Zelda Link style.
Yeah.
And I just smash it near my cart.
Okay. You take the plant and you throw it on the ground. It hits the ground with like a thud, not like a shatter like you're expecting. Like it hits the ground and sounds just like a bunch of meat, like hitting the ground. And the plant just kind of rolls over onto its side. From beyond the crowd, you hear like, and beyond all the goblin folk and other diminutive races. You see a tall, about 7 foot tall, like pitch black skinned warrior kind of clapping his hands, and he says, "What a display! Truly, you are both a potion maker and a performer."
Okay, my confidence is way high right now.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, who are you, buddy? Who do you think you are, buddy?
I am, and he bows before you, and his like white silver hair kind of like washes over his face, and he says, "My name."
And I interrupt. I cut him off right before he says something. I said, "Look, buddy, I don't have any hair dye.
Oh,
Can't help your white hair.
That will not be necessary." And he
If
bows.
you're bald, I have something for that, but I don't have any hair dye.
He kind of just like twitches in like irritation a little bit, and and he goes, "My name is Leosin. I am of the Tist Andi. I have come on the royal mandate. You see, the princess of the city is very sick, and we require someone of your talents to fix her."
Well, I think I am the best potion master in the city. Isn't that right, everyone? And I'm looking at everyone. Yeah.
And the crowd goes,
That's right, Gilicus Breem, the potion machine.
"Yes, I've seen your exchange with this diminutive shard. Now, if you would be coming with me, I can escort you to the palace."
Let's see. I should go to this palace. So
So you're gonna go to the palace of Darujistan, and the ruling family of Darujistan is like a clan of goblins. So just that's what you know about the ruling family of Darujistan.
There are a clan of goblins, and there's this big like human knights.
He said that he was from the Tist Andi, and roll me a history check.
The Tist Andi. I'm trying to see if I remember anything about it.
Do you want to open your book of rubes too while you're at it?
Yeah, I'm gonna open my book of rubes, and I'm looking for like the Tist Andi.
Okay, so roll me a history check.
So let's see, what does my book say about the Tist Andi? So I got a 16.
Okay, so almost at the very back of your book, you see kind of a excerpt on the Tist Andi, and it's like a tall, pitch black skin, like lithe, almost man-like creature. They're known for their insight. They carry very few worldly possessions. They care nothing for gold, and they care even less for their own lives. It says in your book here that the Tist Andi were abandoned by their own god and go around the continent in their floating castles arbitrating conflicts and things for the mortal races.
So I say, after reading this, I look at him and I say, like, so they're not paying you anything?
We Tist Andi, we care not for gold. It serves us nothing. We do this to save Darujistan from the Teniscari hordes that march their way here now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of like totally ignore, after he said that, after I ascertained that he's not in it for the money, I kind of ignored what he said. And you said the royal family?
Yes, the ruling royal family. The queen is very ill.
A goblin queen?
The goblin queen, my good sir.
I'm looking at the goblin section, and it says that, maybe goblins hoard things, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
They do like shiny things,
Yes.
and luckily this isn't a poor goblin.
Nope.
And it says in my book, I don't know if it's true. It's the one I picked up from Wizard School. Goblins are pretty stupid.
Yes.
So I'm excited.
Yes.
Let's go. All right, good.
So he ferries you to the royal court. The palace of Darujistan is this like big domed building. There are like these red streaming banners outside, like trimmed with gold. It's all very like bougie. The tile, there's like turquoise and like red inlay just in the tile up to the walkway. Throlg is pulling the cart and he's looking around and he's going, Throlg,
Okay, so
Throlg.
for a moment, can I stop the cart?
Mhm.
And I would really like to cast a spell
Okay.
called Prestidigitation.
Okay.
And Prestidigitation is like a minor magical trick. It's like a cure-all kind of spell. What I'd like to do is it says that you instantaneously clean or soil an object
Okay.
no larger than 1 cubic foot. So what I'd like to do is takes one action, 1 cubic foot. So I'm gonna clean my face and make myself look very presentable and shiny and wet.
You want to get all like the fish slime off you and kind of coat yourself?
Well, I want to be very shiny.
Okay.
This is the picture of health for a fish. So I want to look shiny and my eyes to look clear and not so tired.
Okay.
Look presentable in my face.
Okay.
Clean up.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So on your way there, while Throlg is kind of pulling the cart or trying to get the cart up the steps into the castle, you've got plenty of time to cast Prestidigitation on yourself, and you like gleam in the sunlight now, and the like hot close sun of Darujistan is like you are like this like pale green gem in Darujistan now.
My color is green, by the way. It's a brownish green.
Oh, brownish green. Okay, yeah. So you're this mossy green gem on the palace steps now in your cart. Entering the throne room, before you sits 3 very regal looking goblins. The one sitting in the center you assume to be the queen, the ruling matriarch of Darujistan. She's adorned in this like long red and gold flowing dress that's like bejeweled with rubies and sapphires. And atop her head is more like around her neck is a like gold jeweled crown that kind of comes up and covers her face a little bit, so she tilts it to the side to talk. To her left and her right are her brothers, and they're dressed to the nines also, wearing these kind of like buttoned like tunic, like large just garments. Their chests like stick out a few inches just from the padding in the garment, and they kind of clink as they walk from all the jewels hitting each other. And the queen, visibly in the center of the room, she's kind of slouched in her throne, and as you come in, she kind of like, oh yes, thank you, noble Tist Andy. This is the one who will cure my ailment. And he bows before the queen. And he says, yes, Queen Greta, this potion seller will cure your ailment. How do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh boy. Let's see. So she speaks common, I assume.
Yeah. She's well educated, you could probably assume.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll say, uh, hello, Queen. It is I, Gilicus Breem, traveling potions consortium, salves from the Far East, and timorous deep. How may I be at your service? I am the best, highest trained arcana biologist in all of trying to remember the name of this world or this area.
This is
In all,
you would call this Genabacus. The
in
continent.
all of Genabacus.
Yep. Yes, very prestigious of you, she says.
Perhaps you've heard of my research in moonbeams?
No, I have not.
Not yet, right?
Yes, right. Now then, you see, I am afflicted with a most serious condition. And she like looks at her brother to her right, and kind of like, you tell him. And her brother steps forward and says, you see, the queen has lost the gift.
The gift.
Yes. How might I put this? Her the magic that once flowed through her, it no longer sings, shall we say?
Then perhaps, and we're talking about hair loss that I can cure.
She cannot cast any magic anymore.
Any magic?
None. No magic at all.
Right? Any magic? I'm trying to see if I'm getting this right.
And he just looks at you and he says, she can't cast any spells. Spells. And he looks at your manservant and says, he speaks common, right? And Throg just goes, Throg.
Okay, I think I'm getting it. So she can't cast any more spells. How long has she been unable to cast spells?
It's been about several seasons now. We think that she lost the ability when the Panyan Seer took control of the Tenniscallery around that time, about 3 seasons ago.
Magic for 3 seasons.
So this would be like 9 months for us, probably.
Okay, so it's been 9 months and she can't
do anything. Magic wise. Just magic wise.
Is there a Mr. Queen Goblin?
There isn't a Mr. Queen, but she does have her 2 brothers.
9 months.
Do you want to like inspect her?
Yeah. Can I inspect her with like a medicine check?
Yeah. So, what do you want to say to the court here to kind of check out the royal gobliness's delicate body?
Well, the first thing we'll have to do is perform a basic arcana magic check to see if you're cursed.
Okay.
This is standard biologist doctor procedure. I'm a doctor too, by the way.
Okay.
And so this is standard procedure. So I'm going to see if I can detect any magic.
Okay. Before you do that, she says, she like slaps in her chair, like points to you and says, "Well, come closer, servant," and lets you kind of get closer to her so that you can get an up close look.
Okay. I get a 16 on the Arcana check.
Okay. So there is you do sense like some kind of otherworldly power or source of magic like inside of her. But it's like the closest way that I could describe it is if like I was talking to you like this. It's almost like the magic is like trapped in some kind of box inside her or something.
Magic is trapped inside of her. Exorcism is not my specialty. So there's some magical thing trapped inside of her.
So she is a wizard, and she's actually a very powerful wizard. Just from your knowledge of Darujistan, the goblin like royal family has ruled Darujistan for as long as anyone can remember, and they've done a great job. And typically, the members of the royal family are known for their prowess with magic, and most of them, not all of them, of course, but most of them are like very, very competent mages.
Okay, and they couldn't cure this lady.
No, so
She can't magic anymore.
her brothers are actually they have no magic. They're just regular kind of folks. She
Okay.
got the gift. It skipped them.
Okay, cool. So I'm the magic guy here now.
You're the magic guy. You
Good sense.
and Leosin behind you are the only people in the room who like can do magic.
And I'm a student of magic. I'm not a particularly magic by nature. So let's see. So there's something wrong with her. Can I try to heal her?
Yeah, you can try to heal her. How do you want to heal her?
Let's see. So what I'll do is, I'd like to give her a bunk tonic, which is just like soda water.
Okay. So this tonic has no magical like attributes to it.
No magical attributes.
Okay.
And I say, first thing we need to do is restore your vitality. And we can do this by, you must drink this potion, and I'll put my 2 fingers on your forehead.
Okay. So she like daintily takes the potion and like pops the top, smells it, and goes, ugh. And she just shoots it down.
Okay. While she's drinking, I'll have my 2 fingers on her forehead.
Okay.
And I'll cast a healing word.
Okay. So your fingers kind of glow with this like bright but soft light. And you feel
Cure wounds.
Cure wounds. Okay. Yep. Okay. So yeah, your fingers kind of glow. There's like a soft, bright but warm light underneath them. That's like very comforting. And her kind of like physical demeanor and health don't seem to change much at all. If they pretty much don't. She's still just like slouched in the chair. Roll an insight check.
13.
So the flesh is willing of this creature, but the spirit is lost, you think. So she's slouching in the chair, not because she's hurt or anything, but she is just she's downtrodden because she's lost her greatest gift.
This is a tough puzzle. Hang on. What the hell is going on? She needs her magic. How can I give her magic? I know what it is. And I say, I have. What you need is a suicidal skull.
Okay, so you want to go grab the suicidal skull?
Bro, toss me that suicidal skull.
And he goes back to the cart, and you hear him like digging around trying to find where he threw the skull into the cart. Like there's glass clinking and stuff, and then finally from the cart you hear, "Oh, Throg!" And he comes back out, kind of holding the skull, in one hand, and from the skull you can hear, "Put me down, you buffoon." And he hands you the skull.
Surely this will do the trick. And I kind of pulled it up by the hair.
And the skull.
And I say, what do you think of this? Does this make you feel magical?
the skull, like, without any eyes or without any eyelids or anything, you can tell it's kind of like looking around, and it says, "Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I remember these halls. Please, if you are noble creatures, you will smash me. Leave me to the void."
Jeez. Man.
And the Goblin Queen kind of sits up in her chair, and she looks at the skull and says, "Where did you get such a sordid creature?"
This is something I've had for a very long time. Passed down to me. And he's a cursed demon who used to steal magical powers.
No, I'm not.
And
no, I'm not. He's a liar. He's lying.
My hand over to my skull.
He lied. Smash me. Smash me.
I'm holding my hands over to the skull.
The Tist Andy E behind you goes, What did the skull say?
He said, smashing. This is a great idea to get your magic back. The skull agrees.
And the skull, like, you can feel in your hand, it's like vibrating, and the jaw is like clicking up and down, and and like from your arm, it's like.
Let's see. I give the skull to the queen as a gift.
Okay. So you hand the skull over to the queen, and the skull looks at the queen and says, "What a strange creature you are. I see you've been inflicted by the seer, he who wears the black robe." And the queen like kind of like jolts up in her chair and says, "What did you say, skull?" And the skull looks at her and says, "I see you've been inflicted by he who wears the black robe, the collector of shards, the chainer of races." And she's like, "Go on, skull." And he says, "You have magic, but it is locked from you, not by your hand, but by the seer."
Just as I suspect. I said, and I'm twisting one of my like catfish whiskers.
The goblins in the court, like, they look at you and they're like not buying it. They're like, "Yes, They're like, "I'm sure." And the skull is like, the Panyan Seer marches to Darujistan as we speak. He leeches your soul. You are lost. And the Goblin Queen, like, as the word like lost clears the skull's non-existent lips, she takes it and she smashes it into the floor, but the skull doesn't break, and instead it just bounces into the corner of the room where it's like, "God damn it, not hard enough." And then it like goes off into the corner of the room. And she like kind of stands up like, "Now, potion seller, do you have a potion or not?"
Do I have a potion or not? Do I have a potion? Throg, do I have a potion? Of course I have a potion or not. So let's see. I'm rifling through my bag for a potion of magical revivification. And let's see, what do I have in my bag? So, for a spell strong enough to cure this lady, I'll have to mix a few of my potions.
Okay.
So I take a minute, and I'm pulling out 3 potions and one of those like beakers.
Okay.
And I'm putting in like just the right amount of each, and I'm
Okay.
kind of mixing it up and holding it up.
Do you want to try to perform like do you want to like make this potion in front of her and like throw some magic in there too?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make this potion, and I'm gonna try and imbue it with like whatever ingredients I have.
Okay.
Can I see how strong I can make this?
Yes, you can.
Would this be a medicine check?
Yeah, roll me a medicine check or yeah, go ahead and do a medicine check.
Okay, I'm gonna actually try to create a potion that will stimulate, that makes someone more magical.
Okay.
And what we're trying to do here is like, there's obviously some magic trapped in this lady.
Yep.
And what we need to do is, it's like popping a zit. We're trying to like just fill this lady with magic until whatever's trapped bursts.
Okay.
And then she goes back. So I explain this medical process. Let's make our medical check. 17.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so you pour all these ingredients into the potion and kind of like hold your hands over the vial and say a few like strange words and hushed tongues, and this green glow kind of emits from your palms, and the potion like sort of comes to life, and it's like pulsing green with this like blue thin smoke coming up from the vial. It's like thread like blue smoke.
Okay, so this is a magical stimulant. So you'll drink this, and then hopefully that magic in you will burst. Might be painful, and then you'll have your magic back to normal in 1.
Okay. So she takes the potion from you, and she like eyes it because this thing is strange looking. There's now like this black kind of shadowy smoke coming out of the vial and like dripping down the side of it, and then just like evaporating into the air. The like blue kind of threads coming up out of it, they're like solid now. And there's like 4 blue threads coming out of it, and it's changed to this like murky green gray color, and it's almost like the potion itself is like pushing against the walls of the vial, and it's trying to like break its way out. And so she lifts it up and kind of inspects it, and then shoots it down the hatch. After she takes it, she makes this like face, and then sits back in her throne like she's thrown back in her throne, and her eyes like pop open, and they're bright yellow like a cat almost. And behind her, like on her back, there's this like blue spectral glow as what looks to be like a copy of her sort of lifts from her skin. This like blue spectral self of her lifts from like the flesh, and in the back of your mind you can hear, yes, release. And everyone in the room, like you can tell everyone in the room hears it too, because everyone starts looking around for like, what the fuck was that? And Throg is like, Throg.
I'm surprised and scared also.
And the like blue sheening like spectral goblin queen is like slipping further and further up from her body until finally she's like hovering over her body, kind of like suspended, almost like a marionette. And you see like 4 thin, pale, like almost bone-like fingers like wrap around her throne, and this like black hooded figure with like the same black smoke that was in your potion is pouring from its face. And it kind of like shows itself from behind the throne and looks up at the spirit and starts like cackling like it's like this like dry painful cackle, and it like wills its body to the front of the throne with its back turned to you, puts its like skeletal like arms out. You see them now. They're like moon, they're bright white. The knob on his elbow is just bone. He is nothing. He like if a breeze came in, it might blow him over and he might die. But he stands in front of like the spectral goblin, and you see the spectral image of her above the throne room start to scream, but you hear nothing. And in a second, all the candles and all the light in the chamber goes out. She's gone. The candles come back. They're both gone. The goblin queen is slumped over, like on her throne. The black figure is completely gone, the robed black figure. And the like goblin royal council is like, what's happened? What did you do?
Okay, I'm stressing out now. I'm in way over my head. See, this is all part of her body is detoxing. Toxins in her body.
One of her brothers like goes up and he kind of like tries to move her up, and she is very clearly dead.
Oh boy. Oh,
and he turns back and looks at you and goes, "She's dead. You've killed her. She's dead."
She's not dead. She's not dead. She's sleeping. Obviously, I'm a doctor.
He draws his sword, which is like a golden rapier, and he says, "Guards, arrest this man! Drive him out of Darujistan!" And from like the sides of the throne room come like something like 20, 30 goblin guards in like shining silver clanking armor. They are like rushing at you. Thrug, thinking quickly, grabs the cart, turns around, and starts booking it out of the palace.
Oh god.
The other guards kind of stationed at the walls are taking shots at you as you flee. Oh no. Oh boy. Okay. So one of the goblin guards on the highest.
It's about the J.K. Rowling moment.
Maybe not for you. So one of the goblin guards, in like what must be the tallest tower, you see him notch an arrow, and shoot it from his bow that's like double his size. The arrow, you can see the path kind of like perfectly in your mind, and the path ends at Throg's forehead. And the arrow finds its mark directly in his forehead, and he just falls back, hits the pavement, and he is dead. So the cart is stopped. The goblins are chasing you. You're in the cart. There are like 50. There's way too many for you to fight.
Okay, this is like a rickshaw thing that I've got to... And it was being pulled by a hobgoblin.
Yep.
He could pull it pretty well.
Yeah. He could pull it with the best of them. God bless him. Godspeed, Throg.
Let's see. Can I take a 1-minute break and take a piss?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me think that I'm going to...
Yeah. Woo! Poor Throg. very loyal guy. Didn't get him very far.
Rip Thrall. I mean, he can come back, right? White Fang came back.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't think Throg is gonna make it with his injury unless someone could, reanimate him or something.
I didn't come back.
I think those are the toxins leaving your body was my favorite part of this one so far. All the grass around them died.
The potions are so fun. I really like the potions.
Okay, so this dumb bastard, Throg is dead.
Yes. Yeah, your loyal manservant who gave his life, he's dead.
Mm.
Do you...
That's okay. That's okay.
Roll me a perception check to see if you can find anywhere to hide.
Okay, so we're in this, palace.
Yeah, you've just... As you've cleared, the palace gates, Throg has died. You're now outside the palace gates, so you're kind of looking at the market now again. And you're, almost in the Darujistan proper.
Okay, so there's a market. There's about 20 guards on my tail.
Yeah. The crowd in the market sees you coming, and they kind of it's Gilicus! And then they see, the guards chasing you, and they go, he's being chased! And they all, take off, because they don't want to get caught in, the crossfire or anything.
Okay, so I got a 15 for perception.
Okay, so...
What do I see around me?
Alright, so...
Panic?
So, between, the stalls and little tents and wares and things, in the center of the market, directly in front of you, there's a small, structure that looks to be, like a house. There's a half wall. There's a stone half wall around the structure, and in the middle of this, tiny hut, it's all made out of stone. The collapsed roof above that, there's a willow tree, and something in that structure calls to you and tells you to head there.
Willow tree?
Yeah, so that structure sticks out to you in your mind, and you're not sure why, but you are drawn to that.
Okay. Do I have any cover on me right now at all? Am I in the wild?
So you're in your cart, so the arrows are hitting the top of the cart, and you hear them So you're safe from the arrows. You have maybe 2 to 3 minutes before the goblin guards on foot catch you.
Okay, so let's see. I can pull this cart, right?
You certainly can try.
Oh, okay. All right, boys. We're about to have a J.K. Rowling moment.
So do you want to try to pull the cart to the willow tree building?
So let's see. I've got my barrel.
Okay.
And that's on my. If you see in the picture, I've got this barrel thing, basket that I carry around.
Okay. Yeah.
It's strapped to my back, and then I've got this cart. It's all
all your stuff is in the cart.
Yeah. How much do you think I can salvage in this moment from this cart if I want to ditch it?
You might be able. Is your barrel empty or full?
Let me see what's in here. There's my book of roots. I carry 3 to 5 potions on me at any given time. And I would say I have my alchemist kit is in my barrel.
Okay, so you're thinking you could easily stash any money that you have in your barrel. The amulet that you received from the gnome, you definitely you're gonna throw that on your person.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my potions belts.
Yep, you're gonna strap that around yourself.
Okay, I'm scrambling right now, so I'm just, throwing my belt on, and I'm just throwing open fists into my cart, in grabbing just random vials. I'm not checking the label. I'm grabbing as many vials as I can and throwing it into my barrel in the back.
Okay.
Totally unorganized.
Okay. So you get 11 potions into your barrel. Random. We're not sure what they are. Each one appears to be a different color.
Maybe like I'll check with I'll try to investigate them and see if I can figure out what they do later.
Yeah.
For now, they're random.
For now, you have maybe 30 seconds before the goblins reach your cart.
Okay, I'm dropping the cart.
Okay, you're dipping?
I'm dipping.
Okay.
So I tried to get what I could from the... can I get some... I guess I have it in my... Yeah, I'm dropping the cart.
All right, so roll me an athletics check as you sprint towards the cart. I mean, the ruin structure.
Ooh, 21.
21. Oh, man. Okay, so you step to the front of the cart, jump. You kind of like float a little bit in the air and hit the ground running. And you are speed. You are adrenaline. And like you are the wind. And even though you have flippers, you are booking it. And you hear the goblins behind you, like the clanking grows softer and softer until you reach the building. You jump over the like half fence and open the door to get inside the building, where you see two like humanoid-like creatures sitting in front of a fire. And
are they gnomes? This would be great if
they're gnomes. They're definitely not gnomes. You're not even sure. Like one of them just looks like a ball of flesh, and the other one is like a blue-skinned creature. You can see he's got like large tusks protruding from his jaw, and he's got like long pointy blue ears. But that is where we end for tonight.